You can do this practice as Shavasana or as sitting. It's a relaxation and a guided inquiry. Whatever works for you best right now is fine. We're going to do a relaxation and inquiry, looking at bringing kind attention to ourselves. The basic principle in relaxation is that we don't actually relax our muscles. We bring our attention to the area of the body that feels tight. And just our attention is enough. We seem to have this inbuilt draw or urge towards relaxation. And as soon as we notice that we're tight somewhere, the noticing itself is enough to allow the relaxation to happen. And we can apply this in all different areas. We could apply it to paying attention to thoughts in the mind, to our experience in many different ways. Today, let's start with noticing your experience as it is right in this moment. Those words, kindness and attention, could trigger a few things in us. Often it'll trigger thoughts of not being sure we can do that, or judgment around not doing that all of the time. So it's very understandable that there are associations with those words. And if that's the case, noticing that, noticing the content of that for a moment as well. Bringing your kind attention to that process, however it was, for the last half a minute or so. And then bring your attention to the space that your body is in, the space your body is occupying. Notice the space all around your body. The room, the air, the support of the environment that you're in. The furniture, the floor, the ground beneath your feet. And even with the eyes closed, we know that there's space above us and some kind of building most likely, and then the sky above that. There's space to the sides and the back, and there's this space that our body is occupying. And it's in this space that we experience our lives as human beings. At the beginning, noticing what the environment is. What are the qualities of the environment in this moment? And the environment that we're in our bodies and minds is content. And content always changes. So sometimes our bodies are running, sometimes they're swimming, sometimes they're lying on a beach, sometimes they're working at a desk. We have all different kinds of experiences in our bodies, and our sensory perceptions help us to experience those things. That's the way it works. And in addition to what our physical bodies are doing, we might have contraction or relaxation. We might have a feeling of warmth and joy. We might have a feeling of being depressed or anxious. There's all kinds of experiences that flow through. And then there's this space in which it's all arising. So it's good to know how it works. That we have experiences in our lives and we respond to them. And our minds, our brains like to associate. That's Partly, it's a survival mechanism. We need to be able to recognize danger and safety. Partly, it's for memory. There's all kinds of reasons why that happens, but it's true that our brains associate and that we can feel that in our bodies. And we know that even just from whatever response we had to the words kind, attention. We're going to work with the relaxation in the body right now. And relaxation requires an effortless effort. We're going to bring our attention to the different parts of the body. But we can't actually relax a muscle by wanting to relax it or doing a relaxation. We allow relaxation to happen. The natural state of our body is relaxed. And we always want to come back to that. It's a built-in process, part of how we work. Sometimes we have chronic habits of contraction or tension, so it might not feel like that's very accessible. And we've all experienced that from time to time, that feeling of relaxation in the body. So continue with this kind attention. And by kindness, it's another way of referring to allowing everything to be as it is. If we're noticing that we bring our attention to the forehead and the muscles relax, that's fine. If we notice we bring our attention to the forehead and there's a judgment there about how tight our forehead is, or maybe we get involved in a worry, then that's fine too. We're just bringing our attention with kindness for whatever our experience is in this moment. Bring your attention to the scalp and the forehead. To the eyebrows and the eyes. Notice how it is, that process. How does that work when we bring our attention to the eyebrows and the forehead, the eyes? We know where they are located already. Even with the eyes closed, we don't have to touch them or see them in the mirror. We know where they are. And when we pay attention or bring our attention to a certain part of the body, we know through our sensory perceptions whether it's tight or relaxed, if there's pain or not pain. And then in addition to the muscles of the forehead and the eyebrows and the eyes, notice the environment a few inches behind that, the environment of thought. So there's the space where the head is right now, and the space just behind the forehead where the thoughts are arising. And then there's the activity itself. And we all respond to whatever it is that's happening. Notice what it's like to pay attention. We give ourselves this gift of seeing ourselves. Part of what we're seeing is what we're paying attention to, and part of what we see is what we respond, how we respond to what we're seeing. And that response becomes part of what we're paying attention to. And notice if you can pay attention with kindness. And then moving our attention down a little bit into the jaw and the mouth. Notice your lips and tongue, the wetness in your mouth. And notice the hinges of the jaw, and the upper jaw and the lower jaw, if there's some relaxation or if there's some tension there. Bring this kind seeing to your jaw and your mouth. And then bring your awareness, your attention down into the back of your neck and shoulders. It's interesting how our experiences can be so different from one part of the body to the next. Very common for people to have a protective energy or contraction through the back of the neck and the upper back. Sometimes that's been there so long, it just feels like that's how it is. And whatever it is that you're noticing, continue to pay attention. Notice what it's like in that part of the body when it's really noticed and seen. We might notice thoughts coming in about it, and that's fine, they can be there too. Really putting our kind attention to the back of the neck, the shoulders, all those large muscles of the upper back and behind the heart center. And then bring your awareness as well into the face again. The forehead, the jaw, through the front of the throat. Notice what's happening in your throat. It could feel quite neutral, like there's nothing really happening there. There could be energy there, could be experienced as pleasant or unpleasant. There's no right or wrong way for our bodies to be in this moment in time. We're simply bringing our kind attention to our experience. And then bringing your attention down a little bit into your chest. Notice the muscles that cover the rib cage and the area that's protected by the rib cage. Bringing our kind attention to the experience in this part of the body. Notice the muscles, the movement of your body with your breath. Notice any energy or sensation as well. Notice if thoughts are coming up in response to what we're finding. That's natural. For a moment, hold that entire experience in your kind attention. Really see. If you find yourself wishing that your experience was something different than what it is, notice that too. See if you can hold that with some compassion, some kindness for yourself. We might even bring our attention to the hand and place it on the heart. It's an additional element of this noticing, this paying attention, feeling the warmth, the sensation. Noticing thoughts in the mind and not getting too absorbed in them. Keep a lot of your attention on the physical experience, the part of the body that we're in, the energetic or sensation component. This kind attention. And then bring your awareness down a little bit into the stomach area. So interesting to see how our experience changes as we move our attention through the body. Physically, there's more movement with the breath. We could put a hand on our stomach if we'd like to as well. We can notice the breathing and the movement of the body with the breath. And by relaxing all of the muscles of the stomach area, we open up some space for the body to breathe diaphragmatically. Noticing whatever it is that's happening as you're bringing your attention to your stomach area, the muscles, the experience inside as well. There's very often energy in the stomach, the navel center, the lower belly. And bring this curious attention into our own experience. With the intention of paying attention with kindness, with compassion for ourselves, whatever our experience is right in this moment. And then expand your awareness to include your whole body, including your arms and hands, your legs and feet. Your whole body from head to toes, noticing again the space the body is occupying and the experience within that space. Take a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale, noticing that experience. And open your eyes and notice how the experience is enriched by the visual field now, the things that we see, the associations we have with what we see will come in as well. Associations and thoughts will come up when we're looking around. And as we move through the day, notice if you can bring this kind attention to your experience just as it is.